Here are the craziest plays from every NBA star in the 2025 season, moments that had fans losing their minds. Giannis Antetokounmpo's historic triple-double. Of course, it didn't feel like one of Giannis's usual big nights. It was something different. On April 3, 2025, at Fiserv Forum in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Damian Lillard was out with deep vein thrombosis, leaving the Bucks without one of their stars. Giannis wasn't just filling in, he was rewriting the game plan. That night, he was the game plan. From the start, the 76ers took control. They came out strong, building a 17-point lead before Milwaukee had even settled in. It could have been a blowout, but Giannis wasn't having it. Instead, he ran the floor like a pro point guard, calm, fast, and sharp. By early in the second quarter, the Bucks were back in it thanks to a 15-0 run led by Giannis that got the crowd roaring. Here's what stood out. Giannis wasn't just scoring. He was setting up his teammates. His stats were crazy. 35 points, 17 rebounds, and a career-high 20 assists. A triple-double with style. But it was more than just the numbers. 6 teammates hit double digits, and Giannis was the one feeding them the ball. By the time the buzzer went off, the Bucks were in playoff position with a 42-34 record. That stat line might get hung up on the wall, but what's the real story? It was about Giannis bending the game to his team's needs. Jayson Tatum's record-breaking triple-double. On December 21st, 2024, Jayson Tatum had a big game at the United Center in Chicago. The Celtics forward scored 43 points, pulled down 16 rebounds, and handed out 10 assists in a 123-98 win over the Chicago Bulls. So, what made this performance stand out? It wasn't just a triple-double. Tatum made history, becoming the first player in Celtics history to score 40 points and get a triple-double. And his shooting? Well, it was impressive. Tatum hit 16 out of 24 shots, including 9 out of 15 from beyond the arc. That's something rare. He joined James Harden as the only players in NBA history to score 40 points, grab 15 rebounds, dish out 10 assists, and make 3-pointers in a single game. Payton Pritchard's deep-range heroics. Who would have thought Payton Pritchard, a guy not exactly known for stardom, would become such a big part of the Celtics' 2024 NBA Finals? But when it really mattered, Pritchard stepped in and took the spotlight, twice. Game 2, June 9th, 2024. This was one of those moments where you had to stop and wonder if Pritchard could actually pull it off. With just seconds left in the first half, he gets a pass from Al Horford. No one thought he'd do anything wild, but then, boom, he nails a 34-foot three-pointer as time runs out, giving the Celtics a solid 21-point lead heading into halftime. Now jump to June 17th, 2024, Game 5. This time, it's more than just hitting big shots. Pritchard's here to prove it wasn't a fluke. With 4 seconds left before halftime, Luka Doncic steps up to the free throw line. He misses, and Pritchard grabs the rebound, then without hesitating, launches a half-court shot. You could feel the crowd waiting to see if it would go in. And yep, it's good. Another buzzer beater, this time from 49 feet, adding to the Celtics' lead. These weren't last-minute throwaways, they shifted the game. You could hear it in the crowd. Evan Mobley's career-high performance. On December 7th, 2024, at the Spectrum Center in Charlotte, Evan Mobley had a game to remember. He's usually quiet when he plays, but against Charlotte, he turned the noise all the way up. The Cleveland Cavaliers forward scored a career-high 41 points, grabbed 10 rebounds, and blocked 3 shots, leading the team to a 116-102 win over the Charlotte Hornets. This wasn't just another strong game for Mobley, it was proof he's becoming a real force on both ends of the court. His shooting was impressive, especially his career-best 6 of 8 from three-point range. It was clear his growth as a player, both offensively and defensively, was showing. Mobley was open about his game after the win. Quote, "I was just in rhythm," he said, giving credit to his teammates for setting him up in the right spots. "I stayed aggressive." That focus and confidence are what made him stand out, his ability to stay locked in and perform when it matters. Coach J.B. Bickerstaff, who's watched Mobley grow, also praised him. Quote, "He does everything for us. On defense, on offense, he's a 7-foot unicorn." That's high praise, and it shows how Mobley can impact the game in so many ways, making him an essential player for the Cavs. That night, he wasn't just a tall guy who could shoot, he was a walking problem, one that made the other team rethink everything. Jalen Green's efficient scoring explosion. On January 13th, 2025, at the Toyota Center in Houston, Texas, Jalen Green had a night to remember. Scoring a career-high 42 points, he helped the Houston Rockets secure a 120-118 win over the Grizzlies. But it wasn't just the points. Green's shooting was incredible, making 13 out of 18 shots, a 72.2% shooting percentage, and sinking 5 out of 6 three-pointers. This performance put him in elite company alongside Hakeem Olajuwon as the only players in Rockets history to score over 40 points with at least 70% shooting accuracy. That's a huge deal. But what makes Green's game even more impressive? Sure, his points were amazing, but there's more to it. He grabbed 3 rebounds and dished out 4 assists, proving he can do more than just score. And when the Rockets were down by 13 points in the fourth quarter, Green didn't fold. He stepped up. With the game on the line, he made sure the Rockets came out on top. That's the mark of a special player, delivering when it counts the most. For a young guy still figuring himself out, this felt huge. And for the Rockets, maybe it's the sign of a new spark. Sam Hauser's three-point barrage. On March 10, 2025, at TD Garden in Boston, Sam Hauser, who wasn't supposed to steal the show, did. He scored a career-high 33 points, leading the Boston Celtics to a 114-108 win over the Utah Jazz. What made it even better? He hit 9 three-pointers, 7 of them in the third quarter alone. This wasn't just a great game, it was a record-breaking performance. Imagine hitting that many shots in one quarter. But what made this game stand out wasn't just the shots, it was the situation. The Celtics were missing big names like Jayson Tatum, Kristaps Porzingis, and Al Horford. You might think it would make it harder to win, right? But Hauser didn't just fill in, he became the player the team needed. His shooting gave the Celtics the boost they needed, showing just how valuable he can be. In that moment, Hauser wasn't just doing his part, he was stepping up big time. Draymond Green's unique double-double. On November 22, 2024, the Golden State Warriors played against the New Orleans Pelicans at the Smoothie King Center in New Orleans, Louisiana. The game didn't go the Warriors' way, as they lost 112-108. But there was one moment that stood out. Draymond Green did something no one had ever done in NBA history. At first, if you look at the scoreboard, you'd see no points. But if you looked again, he recorded a double-double with 12 rebounds and 11 assists without taking a single shot from the field or the free throw line. How many times do you see a player have such a big impact without scoring? Green's stat line wasn't just rare, it showed his smart basketball skills. While others were focused on scoring, Green was setting up the offense, grabbing key rebounds, and helping his team in other ways. He wasn't trying to score, but he was everywhere else, making sure the Warriors stayed in the game. This wasn't just an odd stat, it showed how much he brings to the team, especially when other players weren't having their best night. Zion Williamson's high-flying return. The 2024-25 NBA season was a big one for Zion Williamson, especially after dealing with injuries. He was back on the court, and it didn't take long for fans to see just how powerful he could still be. One of the most exciting moments of the season happened on March 15, 2025, during a game against the Los Angeles Clippers. With only seconds left on the clock, Williamson grabbed the ball and pushed it the length of the court, weaving through defenders before slamming down a huge dunk at the buzzer. The crowd went crazy, and you could feel the mood shift. The dunk wasn't just loud, it was bold, like it was saying, "I'm back, watch closely." And if you blinked, you missed the return of one of the league's most jaw-dropping talents. Ja Morant's controversial buzzer beater. With Ja Morant, the wild dunks and twisting finishes are expected, but when he stepped back and knocked down a cold 3 to beat Miami at the buzzer, it's what came after that had everyone talking, a move the league didn't like. Ja Morant's game on April 3, 2025 was unforgettable. At the Kaseya Center in Miami, the Memphis Grizzlies guard scored 30 points, including the game-winning step-back shot over rookie Kel'el Ware as time ran out. The final score was 110-108, giving the Grizzlies a much-needed win after a tough 4-game losing streak. But while the win was huge, the real drama came after the game. You could feel the buzz in the arena as Morant's shot dropped, but that excitement didn't last long. After hitting his first basket, he made a finger gun gesture. Then he did it again after a three-pointer. It wasn't the kind of attention you want after hitting such a clutch shot. Morant has had a past with firearms, especially after the social media incident that got him suspended. So the NBA fined him $75,000 for the gestures. They made it clear he'd been warned, and his actions were more than just a bad look, they were a problem. Steph Curry's 52-point masterpiece. It wasn't the usual Curry, it was something different. You know the look someone gets when they're hurting but decide that pain isn't going to control the night? 52 points, and he wasn't even close to 100%. A bad tailbone didn't matter. He moved like someone rewired physics, falling sideways while drilling deep threes from the logo, shrugging off defenders like dust. Then came the fourth. That's when it got strange. Most players slow down. He didn't. He got sharper. The energy around him got louder. Not just sound, but something real. The kind of noise that fills the Chase Center in Mission Bay, San Francisco, and makes the other team feel it in their chest. You could sense it even through your TV, like something had shifted. When someone brought up his age again, he laughed it off like it was something he'd already moved past. He's still here, still going. And if you thought these plays were wild, wait until you see what happened in this next video.